Do you know the average life expectancy of humans is 75, 80 years, depending on the gender? But what if we tell you there is a tribe in the world whose life expectancy is just 32 years? The Hadza tribe of Tanzania has a life expectancy of just 32 years. So why is their life expectancy so less? Let us find out in today's video. Here we begin. A study was conducted on the Hadza, considered one of Northern Africa's last traditional hunter-gatherer societies, and the people of Poland, to address the perceived timing of the transition to old age among traditional societies. In Tanzania, there are 1,200 and 1,300 Hadza people, but only 400 rely solely on traditional foraging techniques to survive in 2015. The Hadza are thought to live in an egalitarian society without any obvious hierarchies. Importantly, Hadza women have a relatively higher status than women in other societies, which is important in gender differences. The Hadza's primary pursuits are hunting and gathering, so it stands to reason that they would consider anyone who gave up these pursuits to be elderly. Men and women in the Hadza community engage in these activities up until the point at which they are unable to do so. However, as far as we know, studies have yet to determine the typical stopping point for Hadza provisioning. Therefore, there is no concept of retirement age among the Hadza. Significantly, Hadza grandmothers assist their daughters in caring for their children in a way that reflects the grandmother hypothesis and promotes community cohesion. Although it may be significant in determining the onset of old age, Hadza women have grandchildren relatively earlier than Western women, and that's obvious, don't you think so? After conducting the study and comparing the Hadza results with those of Poland's modern industrialized population, it was discovered that the Polish sample, which is part of Western society, had a longer life expectancy due to access to medical and social care, technological advancements, a higher socioeconomic status, and a relative lack of reliance on ecological factors like extreme weather or hunger. Also, the length of life is correlated with economic development. It seems logical that personal observation and experience would influence beliefs about aging in societies with higher life expectancies. A person who grows up in a community with a high proportion of older adults may be able to name more salient examples of older adults than someone who grows up with a lower life expectancy or fewer older adults around them. The average Hadza life expectancy at birth is 32.5 years, significantly lower than that of Poland, which is 78.2 years. Although the Hadza are thought to live shorter lives on average, this is not necessarily true. Low life expectancy is more often correlated with high mortality in the first few years than a short lifespan. A Hadza woman, for instance, still has more than 20 years left in her life expectancy when she is 45 years old. To put it another way, life expectancy varies significantly across human groups at young ages, but it substantially converges after 30 years of age. As a result, there may not be many older adults among the Hadza. A comparison of the Hadza data with the findings from Chan and colleagues reveals that some industrialized societies, like Malaysia, where the average age of old age is 47.6 years, perceive people as having reached old age even earlier. In contrast, the Hadza believe people reach old age at around 54. Don't you think the tribals in this case have more modernized thoughts? But because of this, although the perceived transition to old age in hunter-gatherer populations appears to occur earlier than in Western populations, this difference is not great, as shown by the small effect size. The Hadza's perception of the onset of old age may not only be influenced by their limited exposure to industrialized lifestyles and the available models of older adults, but also by a strong attachment to their culture and way of life. An additional understanding of Hadza's perceptions of the limits of old age was also provided by this field study. Although participants weren't specifically asked to mention traits or experiences connected to getting older, some did so independently. During the oral interview, they most frequently said that people do grow older once she has grandchildren, or once she has white hair. One participant even claimed that one is old when he or she has an adult child. This suggests that despite their difficulty defining their own or others' ages, the Hadza have a clear conception of old age compatible with Western ideas. But more surprisingly, in recent times, Hadza adults have regularly lived into their 60s, and some have even reached their 70s or 80s. However, these life expectancies are approximate and highly variable because Hadza does not precisely track time and age as people in the West do. Isn't this tribe so unique and interesting to know about? So that was all about the Hadza tribe and their opinions on life expectancy. What are your thoughts on this? Also, as per the recent trends, are you two going to take a trip to the Hadza land? Share your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe for more.